Okay guys, welcome to lesson 2. We are going to jump straight into this one. This one is the CM Capital Market Structure Pro Indicator. It's had a lot of updates since I've made this video, so you're well ahead of the curve on this one. So once you've got your trading view set up, what you want to do is click indicators at the top here, go to technicals, and all you need to do is type in Market Structure Pro. So if we Market Structure Pro, and obviously I've already favorited it, but what you will see, you just look for CM Capital Market Structure Pro by CM Capital Steve, that's me. Start that indicator, and then just click it and it will pop up on your chart, and it will pop up like this. So you'll see a load of, well, you won't see a load of stuff pop up. Let me actually turn these on. So you'll see this, it will look like this. So you'll see lines pop up, these little triangles, the watermark at the top and bottom, and it's a very clean indicator. So all it's going to do is it's going to help you just mark out your charts and give you the very basics to what you need to trade. So double click on the indicator. If it's not there, just pull this bit down and then you'll see it pop up. Double click on the indicator and we're going to go straight into the settings. Basically, this is an indicator with 8, 9 indicators. Let me actually count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's got 8 indicators built into one indicator. So if you're not paying for TradingView, you can only have 1 or 2 indicators, I believe, and then you've hit your limit. You can't actually add any more indicators. If you pay for the minimum TradingView indicator, you can have 3 or 4. And then so on and so forth. As you up your pay scale, you can get more and more indicators. But the good benefit with having the CM Capital Pro version 2 indicator is you can have 8 indicators in one. So you basically got a little loophole here where we've got 8 indicators. Even if you're not paying for TradingView and you can only have 1 or 2 indicators, you can literally have this indicator and you've got 8. So there's benefit 1. Benefit 2 is obviously what's inside the indicator. So what we have inside the indicator, if I just move this over, I want to actually zoom in a little bit as well. So let's zoom in a bit so you can see some of the chart. So what it is I'm going to remove all of these and we're just going to slowly go through them all. So the first one is breaks of structure and market structure shifts. That's what this first tick box is. And that's for this whole section here. So the blue lines and the black lines, they are your breaks of structures and your market structure shifts. So let's up that. You can go up to max levels of 10, so it'll plot more levels. As you can see here, it's just plotted more and more levels. And what it is very simple. So say we're in a bullish trend here, like we are here, we're in an uptrend. You'll get a break of structure identified as black. So every time it breaks to the upside, you'll get a black line plotted on the chart to tell you that with broke structure, we're going to continue to the upside. With broke structure here, we continued up. With broke structure here, we continued up. And when you get a blue line, which you can change that color by the way, but when you get a blue line, it tells you that we have now shifted from that bullish trend to now we are becoming in a downtrend. So it's just telling you that we have flipped the markets. So you can see it here. We have come down, you've got your black lines, your breaking structure to the downside, breaking structure to the downside, and then we've changed structure. Blue line, break to the upside. We have now shifted in momentum, shifted in structure. We are now pushing to the upside. That's all this tells you. So it's a very clean indicator in that sense. Sensitivity, this is what controls the breaks of structures and highs and low indicator, which I actually can plot them on there. So the highs and lows are these triangles, so it shows you where your highs and lows are. So your sensitivity is what is controlling those levels, and there's 3 levels in here. High is, it's going to show you, as you can see, very intricate levels and highs and lows, and shows you internal ranges and all of that. If you go to medium, it's going to expand it out a bit, so it will remove some levels. So it's going to be a bit more for mid-range traders. And then if we go to low, which is the best one to explain, it's going to show you and plot the most extreme swing points, which is pretty much the main break of structure levels. So these are the levels that are the most strongest. So these are going to catch plot out the most extreme levels, so the main highs and the main lows. But obviously, as me, I'm a day trader. I have high because I like to see the more intimate levels. But if you're new to trading, then I would recommend using low so you can see the main key levels. And then as you can see, it plots them out very nicely. So you're in an uptrend here, shift, we're now in a downtrend, shift, we're now in an uptrend, and so on and so forth. We're still actually in that uptrend. So yeah, very simple. Breaker structure trigger. Some people like to see wicks as breaks of structures, so you can change that. I personally don't like wicks as breaks of structures. I want to see candle closures for strength, so I want to see candle closures above levels to confirm that they are the breaks of structures. And then obviously you can just change the style of the lines and customize the overall colors and stuff. But that's basic levels. Then we've got fair value gaps. If you're new to trading in general, then fair value gaps are going to be a very new thing, but they just basically fill and colour the imbalances in the market, the gaps in the market. So when candles don't touch, when there's a gap like this and this wick here doesn't touch this wick, there's a gap in the market, there's an inefficiency in the market that needs to be filled. That's all this highlights. And once they get closed past, i.e. this grey candle is now closed past this one, it will turn blue. That's why this one here is grey, because no candles have closed below it yet. So it's not been inverted. That's all that is. And that's why there's a lot of grey ones and then there's a lot of blue ones. It tells you what ones have been inverted and what ones haven't been inverted. And once again, you can change all the colours. And then gap extension, if you want to drag the fair value gaps across, you can drag them across just to help you see things. But I don't like it. Even I built into it, I don't like it because it's too messy for me. Then we show sessions. So if we go down to lower time frame, sessions, it will show you sessions, London session, Asia session, New York session. Obviously, different traders have different session times. I would say that most traders these days have different session times. So there's no perfect session time. Everyone trades is different. If you trade ICT, your session times are completely different to what I've got. If you trade what I've got, then obviously they're completely different to ICT, and other people trade just people all over the place. So it depends on what mentor you've got, whose course you're doing, what mentor you have. It all depends on that, to be honest with you. So you can edit all that in this sessions. You can change Asia session, London session, New York session, edit the times, that's fine. You can change all the colours and all of that. And also you can now, what I have added, current session highs and lows, you can also plot them out. So if we turn the boxes off, it will remove all the boxes and just mark out the current session highs and lows. Let me turn off the breaks of structures. So you see it there, the green lines are Asia, blue lines are London, and obviously New York's not opened yet, so we're not getting no lines yet. But it will cut off once they get broke as well, so it helps just with the cleanliness of the charts. So once Asia low, like you see, Asia low has been swept, it's now stopped producing that Asia low. Asia highs is still intact, so it's still going to print across the chart. But yeah, it's very simple indicator, this one, these sessions. And then max time frames, mine set to 30 minutes. So basically the sessions are going to show on any time frame from the 30-minute downwards. And you can go do it all up to 4 hours, but you won't need to do that. And then obviously, like I said, you can change all the colours, and same as the highs and lows, you can change those as well. DR is the next one. This is actually a part of my academy that I use, so I'm not going to go too in depth with this and how we use it, but this is basically just showing the first hour of the London session. It prints out the DR and the IDR. There is plenty of videos on how some people trade the DR and IDR on YouTube, but obviously I need to keep some stuff for the academy. I can't give you everything. So that's just basically what I have. These are my settings, and that's it. It just prints out the first hour basically of each session. People use it in different ways, so yeah, you can find people on YouTube that use it different ways to how I use it. But there you go. There's a few different ways to use the DR IDR, but it's a very good tool. Basically, in the basic full terms of what general people use it for, is if, like this market here, euro is broke outside of the DR to the upside, most of the time we are more than likely going to continue that move to the upside for the day. That's all it is. It's more like a continuation range. So the first hour of London Open, 8 till 9. If we break after 9 o'clock below, then there's a higher probability chance that we're going to be producing to the downside for the rest of the day. And then like today, we've broke to the upside, so the higher chance of our trades are we're going to be moving to the upside. And obviously looking at this scenario, quick scenario, Asia lows have been taken, we're more than likely going to go and take Asia highs. That's all it is. So yeah, next in part of the indicator is show previous highs and lows. This one is a very good indicator. So if I just zoom out again, let me go back out, I'll go to the 15 minute just to give us a bit of extra. So you see these red lines, I've made mine very faded, but that is the daily high and the daily low. Previous daily high and daily low, sorry. So the previous daily low, which is a liquidity area, has now been taken. Potentially we could move up and take the daily highs. Jumping straight back into the indicator, we actually have weekly highs and lows and monthly highs and lows as well fixed into the indicator. As you can see at the bottom there, you can see the green lines appeared. That is the weekly. You can change all the colours, the width of them and all that, and you can even extend the lines fully across the chart. I don't use the weekly or monthly, I only use the daily, but obviously they are on there. Next one is pre-market key levels. A lot of people ain't going to be using this, so I will go over it, but it's not too important unless you trade the Nasdaq, the S&P, and things like the UK 100 and German 40. If you don't trade them, then you don't need to worry about it. But let me go to the Nasdaq chart. So basically, all it does, literally all it does, is plots out these vertical lines. So it plots out when the New York Stock Exchange daily rollover happens, which is for me in the UK that time 23 o'clock, which is 11 o'clock, and then we've got these two vertical lines, which is the New York Stock Exchange open, which is at 2:30 UK time, and then there's another vertical line for 3 o'clock. So that this vertical line is not too important, but this, I just plotted that on there due to the first half hour of the stock exchange open is mostly a manipulation time. So you really want to try and avoid trading in that time. So that's all it is. So I've just got that added on there as well, just to tell you basically there's your manipulation time zone. Try to avoid trading that time. And that is literally it. And then I do have show PM high and low levels. This just literally plots out the highest point and the lowest point of that range. So between the opening of the daily and then the stock exchange open, it cuts off here. It plot out the most extreme ranges, and they are marked out as key levels. But I don't really use them anymore. But they are useful sometimes. And then, like I said, you can change all the colours. You can even change the symbols, but they're not going to work if you put it on Great British Pound, US dollar and stuff like that. They only work on the Nasdaq and the S&P and these ones here. So yeah. And then finally we have the watermark, which you will more than likely have seen everybody use. It comes up the top here, people's names, and then obviously what they're trading at the bottom, and the date and the time zone and the time frame they're on, yeah, you can fully customize that as well. So if you scroll right down to the bottom of the indicator, the top watermark, mine says CM Capital, as you can see in there, and then obviously the bottom text, which is the text underneath the CM Capital, is my name. You can't obviously change the bottom ones, because that's whatever chart you're on, whatever date we are, and whatever time frame you're on, it automatically plots all that for you. And then you can just change the sizes as well, so you can make it really small or bigger if you want. So I just have it set to small. And that is literally it. And then once obviously you've set all your indicators how you like it, go to defaults, click save it as your own customized indicator. Let me go back to my normal charts. Why has that gone off? Oh, because I turned it off. I don't want highs and lows on. And yeah, that is literally it. So that is now session 2 done, lesson 2 done. That is your CM Capital Market Structure Pro indicator. 8 indicators built into one, and it will highly help you analyze the markets. Next video, I'm not sure what it is, but we'll see how we get on. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.